whether or not we've been able to carry out the mandate of the AU, what are some of the challenges, and when will we actually reach our full potential as a continent? On AU Day today, it's sad to hear, for example, that Africa remains very vulnerable to things like slave trafficking still. Over 400 years since its abolishment in the US, for example, it's still something that we think about. Even Ghana, we're told that if we're not careful, we're going to lose our human resource, to other nations. It just makes you sometimes a bit sad to think that as a continent, we are just not where we desire to be, where we want to be, where we were predicting to be. And a time for me that was very striking, that it really got me thinking about the continent. Because if I'm being honest, all throughout my life, that Pan-African messaging hasn't been very strong. You know, you hear about the days of Nkrumah as a young child and you are inspired, but getting older, that message is just that. It's something we revisit. Nkrumah once said this. You don't really see it transported into modern time. When COVID hit, the entire African continent was on its knees, begging for vaccine, and I thought, so we can't come together.
For once,
we can't come together and also have something where we too can say this belongs to us. And I just felt like, wow, when can I really I am proud to be African, no doubt about it, but when can I also, on the global stage, also tout that we're moving along with the world? It still feels as though we are behind and we're still playing catch up. But a lot of themes come to bear when you think about AU Day. A lot of disappointment, but still a continent that I'm very proud to belong to.
Well, William, the annihilation of a race or culture, will be grounded in the fact that you forget about your culture, your tradition, and particularly your language. We seem to, as Africans, be shying away from our languages. I don't know what it looks like in the rural places today, but back in the day growing up, your grandparents were happy to speak your mother tongue with you, your L1, and your parents and all of that. These days, everybody wants to speak English or French, or those who are, have done multiple languages, Spanish and German, with their children. I find it quite strange in Africa. What do you think?
So this morning in our 6 a.m. news, there was this report about the fact that our leadership, African leaders, are leading their various countries with the European models. Even the way the president and his team appears, the appearance of the whole governance is not in touch.
Yeah.
So basically, we are like birds that fly from the ground, from the earth, and land on anthills, thinking that we are up there. But if you fly from the earth and you land on an anthill, you are still on the ground. You know what I mean? So if we want to, fly from some of the negativity and things, we should be able to determine what we want. So if you look at the 2063 agenda of the AU, self-determination is part of it. Who are we, like we're asking? What do we want? If we say the sky is the limit, the sky is our minds. What do we want? At the end of the day, if at the end of the day, we as Africans, like we're saying this morning, even before we came on the show, Kwame Nkrumah, when he was president, we speak to the minds of Ghanaians, and then speak to the minds of Africans. So the nationalistic sentiments will now come into Pan-Africanism. But here in Ghana now, our leaders are speaking against each other on partisan political lines. So every statement that the president will make, there's a shade against the opposition. The opposition will speak, there's a shade against the ruling government. So there's no one voice that is leading us as a country that will translate into the African cause. So we have to know that, as I always say on the show, Africa has not gone anywhere in terms of development. And if you take Ghana, the 16 regions, if you travel around the country, you see that, look, we haven't gotten anywhere. That's why I'm saying that as Africans, as Ghanaians, we should know that we are at ground zero in terms of development.
How do we make sure that, for example, this whole African economy, we've been talking about one currency for even ECOWAS, the ECO, for so long. These same leaders go into a meeting, they talk about eco, we're going to have a single currency like what has been done in Europe. They have the euro and all of that. And then they come back to their respective countries and come and issue new notes, higher denominations. So what are we doing?
And this is what I'm saying. You see, the whole Francophone Africa is still connected to France, so strong.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And look at Ghana's economy and the figures this morning coming out. If you take out China, a lot of the euro bonds are coming from where? Europe, the West. So our existence is still hinged on Europe and the West. We are not doing anything for ourselves. So if you ask me how, this is how we can start breaking away.
But can we, because we have not shown commitment to a very large extent,
because we think that we are developing.
Okay.
Ghana thinks that we are middle income
status,
but so we are deceiving ourselves, thinking that we have flown up from developing country, but we are on an anthill which is still on the ground. That's the point I'm making.
Still on the floor.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying, that governments that come when they are taking decisions, when Europe was developing, as bad as it may sound, they even came for a whole race to go and develop their fundamentals. That was very bad, but that was what they did. So why are we not, for instance, strengthening our economy by fixing roads, getting our rail lines done, electricity and water? These are the veins, I mean the blood that runs through all the veins of every economy. If you are looking at electricity, if you don't have electricity, how do you develop? We are talking about one district, one factory. We have about 261 districts in this country. Do we have electricity in all parts of the country? That should be the objective.
Yeah. If you want to really industrialize.
Exactly. So if you are talking about even the debt to GDP ratio and it's so high, like 90%, that for me is not a problem. What are you doing with the money that you have gone to borrow?
Yeah.
Are you paying yourself? I mean, are you repaying those loans from the investment that you are making? For instance, we're talking about rail lines from Tema to Paga and beyond.
In fact, Takrady to Paga.
Yes. So if we do those things on a daily basis, we are making money to repay those loans, because
like what the airport is doing.
Exactly. So when you take money, and you develop your rail lines, it will be repaying the loans. When you take money and you develop your airport, it will repay the loans. When you take money and you develop your electricity infrastructure, it will repay the loans. When you take money and you develop your water infrastructure, it will repay the loans. But when we take money and we are putting money in NAPCO,
you see, there are so many, you forget.
Exactly. We put in NYAC, all those things. How do you pay the loans? Then you add free SHS. Now we are telling you that, Mr. President, we don't have enough money to do free SHS. This morning, the food suppliers are saying that Buffer Stock Company Limited owes them, because the free SHS will not give you money in return. So let's support you. You said no. So this are what African leaders are doing, and it is not legal now. Almost all of the sub-Saharan African countries are borrowing and investing in the wrong, if you like, areas of the economy.
We would disagree with you that it's a wrong area to invest in.
I mean, so why are we all in debt?
Let's go to next door Nigeria, for example. It got to a point where they couldn't even find their own currency. Their own currency to spend. They had to join long queues just because one African, it goes back to the point. We say we're creating eco, one currency, and then in Nigeria they go and issue new notes, and then Bank of Nigeria says that, look, we are no longer accepting the old currency. Somebody just sat down and thought that and created a whole stampede. He had to take the president to come and say old notes are still in force, and then everything come back. What's going on? We'll bring you that conversation with Professor Chileji Marwala. Here's a spot of music from Rector first.
Yes, sir. This is an African time. Afrique noire et Afrique blanche, c'est la même chose.
with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnnie Hughes, Helena Piampofo, William Asiedu,
and Noble Crosbyan.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
To simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities, we keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnnie Hughes, Helena Piampofo, William Asiedu,
and Noble Crosbyan.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
To simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities, we keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnnie Hughes, Helena Piampofo, William Asiedu,
and Noble Crosbyan.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
To simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities, we keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnnie Hughes, Helen Apiampofo, William Asiedu,
and Noble Crosbyan.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
We simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities. We keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day.
Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of Johannesburg, South Africa, from January 2018 through to February 2023. He had previously served as the university's Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research and Internationalization between 2013 and 2017, and Executive Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and Built Environment between 2009 and 2013. He holds a PhD degree from the University of Cambridge in the UK, a Master of Mechanical Engineering degree from the University of Pretoria in South Africa, and a Bachelor of Science degree, magna cum laude, from Case Western Reserve University in the United States of America. He has also completed management and leadership programs at the Columbia Business School and the Harvard Business School. We sat down with him yesterday, and his thoughts will now be shared with you on 3FM Sunrise 92.7.
Hello, my name is Johnnie Hughes. We promised you a conversation with the Rector of the United Nations University, Professor Marwala. He's here in flesh and blood. We'll go on with that conversation. Prof, nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. How are you doing?
I'm greater than Accra. How are you too?
I'm doing very well. I am here in Accra. I like Accra. Of course, Kwame Nkrumah is our father, is our ancestor, and so I'm always happy to come to Ghana.
Right. You are the rector of the United Nations University. But because you mentioned Kwame Nkrumah, today will be the African Union Day, 25th of May, OAU, and then dovetailing into AU. What are your own thoughts about African unity?
I think African unity is absolutely necessary. We need to create the economy of scale so that we can have bigger markets. We need to have free flow of people, of goods. So the issue of Africa Free Trade Agreement is very, very important. We need to support it. So for me it's very, very important. But we also have to understand that the biggest resource in Africa is actually people. And if people are united, if Africans are united from Cape to Cairo and from Madagascar to Morocco, then we are going to be able to tackle some of the biggest challenges that confront us. Challenges of climate change, challenges of digital transformation that require Africans to be united so that they can be able to move forward with ease and efficiency.
Do you think that Africans are ready really to trade with each other? I'm looking at the xenophobic situation in South Africa, for example, and how that impacts negatively on continental trade. That means that people will have to move goods and services and all of that.
Well, we have to deal with the issue. I mean, I come from South Africa, and we were quite shocked when that flaring of xenophobic attacks happened. We need to educate the Africans to understand that our future is tied. Our prosperity is tied. And we ought to understand one another. And when I was a Vice Chancellor of the University of Johannesburg, one of the programs that I actually introduced as a direct result of that incident is the Africa by Bus project, where we have taken 15,000 students by bus to as far as Uganda, Kigali, Zambia, Mozambique, and so on and so forth. So it's absolutely it's not a choice that we have. It's a choice that we have to make, and we have to make it in only one way, which is more unity, more cooperation, and more working together.
How do we scale beyond the dependency mindset of Africa, where you have all the natural resources, you have all the skills, you have all the people, and yet we continue to export in very large quantities raw materials, of which values could have been added to that, and then we would have raked in some more and have become more independent?
Well, I think the first thing is education. It starts with education, and education across the board.
Right.
Education in our national universities, education in universities such as the United Nations University, which I lead now, education outside the African continent. We need to send people to Asia to study. We need to send people to Europe to study. We need to send people to the America to study, so that we can be able to bring back all this knowledge and create an ecosystem of thinking that is going to take into account the issues of sustainability, that is going to take into account the issue of poverty as something that ought to be fought and defeated. We cannot afford not to defeat that. Issues of development, whether it is on the infrastructure side. We have a huge infrastructure deficit in the African continent, whether it is in the issue of access to technology. We need more access to technology, so the issue of intellectual property and how it is governed and how it should be governed, so that it does not leave anyone behind.
You talk about education. Let's get into the United Nations University. You are rector. What exactly does the university do? Is that like a regular university that anybody can just walk into?
Well, I suppose like any other university, you need to start to apply. But certainly we would welcome you to come and visit the United Nations University. In fact, the second floor here houses our Institute of Natural Resources in Africa, which is the only institute in the African continent of the United Nations. Very, very important to deal with issues of exactly what you have just painted, what we do with our natural resources. It's not just minerals, it's also the ocean, it is also agricultural, the utilization of a very important natural resource, which is our lands, and it's very, very important. So we do offer postgraduate education, but we also focus on policy relevant research that can be taken into policy, so that we can be able to craft a society and an economy that is able to take the ethos of the United Nations forward, the ethos of peace in the world, the ethos of development for all, the ethos of, and here if I were to use the words of the African Union, silencing the guns, and augmenting friendship and global cooperation to deal with issues that confront all of us, issues of creating global common goods that work for all of us, and that do not exclude any of us.
You're supposed to be interacting with high-level authority and also students and the Vice Chancellor of the University, for example, and many others. What kind of vibe do you get from these meetings?
I must confess I've been welcomed very, very well. I'm going to be meeting the President of Ghana tomorrow. It's not the first time I'm meeting him. I met him when he was on a state visit to South Africa. I am going to be giving a lecture a university-wide lecture here at the University of Ghana on an important topic of artificial intelligence and economic development. I did a PhD in artificial intelligence at the University of Cambridge many years ago. And I think this very important technology must work for Africa, and it should involve many Africans, because if they are not involved, their interests are going to be unrepresented, and that will have dire consequences to the economy and to the future of the African
There are many
people.
Africans who believe that artificial intelligence is just about taking away our jobs and replacing them with machines who will take nothing but instructions and not complain. What do you say to that? Because you have just said that Africans must find a way to plug in order for their interests not to be annihilated. But on the back of that, they think that AI will be a blockade to their finding jobs and taking away their lives.
Well, we need to study the impact of AI on the job market, the future of work. It's a real threat that we need to understand and craft a new economic order that takes into account the fact that automation is going to be part of the productive forces, because you cannot be able to wish it away, because it is a mechanism of making our economy competitive, so that we can be able to produce goods that we can sell and create more capital that we can use in order to deal with issues of health, issues of poverty, and so on and so forth, climate change. So the answer is really not to wish artificial intelligence away. The answer is to understand it, to understand its impact, and to redesign the economic ecosystem that actually works for all of us.
Look into your programming machine now and tell me how very soon would Africa be interested enough to adopt a total AI infrastructure to be used across the globe?
Well, I mean, I think there are many signs that Africans are interested in this. If you look at the startup ecosystem in Kenya that takes into account of AI, quite impressive. If you look at the startup ecosystem in Lagos, again, impressive. If you look at the startup ecosystem in South Africa, it is actually quite impressive. And I'm also impressed by what I see in Kigali, you know. So what we need to do is to make sure that as these developments come about, we identify good problems that needs to be sorted out by AI.
Okay.
Problems in agriculture. How do we use AI to scale up our agricultural productivity, given the fact that 60% of unused arable land globally is in the African continent? We can easily double our productivity if we use many technologies. AI is part of that, but there are many other technologies. It might even be just simple implements, such as tractors. It might mean using drones to be able to monitor the progress of agricultural yields and increase productivity. Because you have to remember, we now have 1.3 billion people in the African continent, and it is growing faster than any other part of the world. How are we going to feed all these people? We cannot be able to feed all these people without infusing all technologies to ensure that we increase food production.
Do you think that the leadership in Africa understand these things you're talking about?
The leadership,
but that they would want to put together policies that will scratch the people where they itch, according to AI.
The leadership is us. You know, we are all leaders. This idea that leaders are only people in the political spaces, it's not right.
Well, we can think all we may, but those who formulate the policies and the laws,
of course.
And those who make them.
No, I completely agree. They are a very important part. Political leadership is very important. But we should never underestimate our responsibility as leaders in our families, in our communities. You know, and when I go home to my village, and we put together young people and tell them about careers. That's what that is leadership. Leadership is in all
but the
sectors.
enabling environment certainly, Prof, has to be created so that, for example, if the government of Ghana has a budget for education, what chunk of the budget should be dedicated to artificial intelligence development?
Absolutely.
And over what period of time?
Absolutely.
I will be willing to help. I will be willing to.
Absolutely.
But then that has to be taken.
No, absolutely. I cannot emphasize that enough. But I also need to remind people, and Ghana is on the same boat as South Africa, where I come from, that those people you see in leadership, every 5 years they come to us and say, employ us.
Right.
Employ us to represent you in the next 5 years. And the question that we ought to ask ourselves, are we sufficiently capacitating our people so that they are able to vote in their own interest? So that we cannot blame leaders, because leaders don't make them, certainly in a democracy, they don't make themselves leaders. We make them leaders. So this issue of deepening the democratic culture of the African continent by making sure that we have an effective feedback between performance as political leaders and accountability to us is very, very important. We need to take responsibility and we need to take leadership upon ourselves and point at our leaders as they are. Our employees who are working on our behalf.
Prof, again, you mentioned the ecosystem which is looking very bright in Kenya, in Nigeria, in South Africa, and all of that. It would need some capital injection. We find ourselves on a continent where, for example, if you decide to venture into agriculture, it will be difficult for you to find immediate funding and many other spaces which are not able to quickly turn around the money, because if you go into oil palm plantation, it takes 36 months for the fruit to gestate and to produce. So no bank will give you money, unless those who properly understand. That capital injection for artificial intelligence and to grow and nurture it and let it blossom, is it readily available?
To reform the global financial architecture so that it can be able to do the things that you are talking about. We are talking about the IMF, we are talking about the World Bank, we are talking about the BRICS Bank and so on and so forth. That's the first part. Secondly, we need to reform our continental and regional banks. Whether it is the AFDB and so on and so forth, so that it can have the necessary risk appetite to be able to do exactly that. And then we need to reform our banking sector. I used to sit on the board of one of the largest banks in South Africa before I came to the United Nations. Obviously, I stepped off when I came to the United Nations. Again, we need to ensure that we create an environment where financial institutions in member states have the necessary risk appetite to be able to invest in these things. It might be we must have new risk models, because one of the things that I am worried about as an African is the issue of formalizing the informal economy, so that it can be taxed, so that we can invest in it, so that if it is necessary we can subsidize it, and ultimately so that our economies can grow and become bigger. And then once you have that feedback between formalizing the informal economy and its impact on economic growth, then we are going to be able to deal with the social, political and economic problems that confront us as Africans.
We started off with the MDGs, the Millennium Development Goals. We moved to the SDGs. We set for ourselves a target of 2030. We're in 2023, so that's maybe 7.5 years away. from the deadline where we're supposed to have achieved all the goals under the SDGs. How well is the world doing in trying to achieve the targets that we have set for ourselves for 2030?
Not very good, you know. And of course, we do know that the MDGs were introduced by the great son of Ghana,
right.
Mr. Kofi Annan,
That's
our
right.
Secretary General. And of course, the SDGs were introduced in 2015. You know, for the almost the bulk of SDGs, very few, only 15%, 12% of the SDGs were on track. The rest we are lagging behind. You know, whereas lagging behind the targets. It's about 30%, we are lagging behind the targets. And then the balance, we have gone backwards. So now the question, why? Of course, it's COVID-19 is one of the things that we can blame.
Right.
But the structure of the global economy is very, very important. We need to come to the table and say, what is the mechanism that we can be able to use to finance the attainment of Sustainable Development Goals? And it goes back to the issue of the reform of the financial architecture, whether it is global, regional, continental, or regional. Yeah.
So we need to do that ASAP in order to achieve this.
Absolutely.
And looking at the SDGs, we find one ambassador here, another ambassador there. In fact, our president is the co-chair of the UN SDG, committee. In Ghana, there are issues that have been raised about our education, SDG Goal 4, regarding the reach and spread, the learning outcomes and all of that. The recent IMF report said, look, free SHS, beautiful policy, poorly implemented. And this is under the watch of the co-chair of the UN SDG that has education as its fourth goal. That should be heartbreaking.
It's absolutely heartbreaking. We need to do something about our education. And again, I will go back to personal responsibilities. Government and the political class have responsibilities towards education. They must do that. They must finance it very, very important, very, very effectively. Teachers must be in class. This idea of teachers not showing up on Monday.
Yeah. Because they went for a funeral or went for vacation.
Well, sometimes because of hangover, you know. Sometimes because of hangover, must come to an end. We need to hold them accountable for teaching our young people. But we as parents, as community leaders, must actually be on the lookout as to what is happening in our villages, what is happening in our schools, so that we can actually be able to meet this issue of SDG 4. And then the other thing that I would like to bring to their attention is the issue of digitization of the education.
Right.
Because when you go to some parts of the rural parts of Africa, and I come from a rural area in South Africa, I live in Johannesburg, but I certainly come from Venda, which is very, very rural. How do we bring world-class teaching into our classrooms in the rural areas? You won't be able to do that without digital.
Talking about the rural educational system, you go into certain places, you find that there's not even electricity. The teachers don't have laptops within which to instruct the students on basic, computer and ICT stuff. They're sitting under trees to learn and all of that. That sets them up for failure right from the get-go, don't you think?
No, absolutely. That's why we need to invest. We are not going to get quality education without investing. We need to invest into infrastructure. And infrastructure means classrooms, but it also means electricity. It also means water. It also means proper latrines. It also means qualified teachers, and so on and so forth. We need to invest in technology. Digital classrooms are very, very important. You can be able to bring a world-class teacher into your classroom digitally in rural areas where you are not going to have quality teachers.
Let's wrap up the conversation and look at the bigger picture for Africa going forward. For that young African who is just out of secondary school, fresh in the university, fresh out of university, who is listening to you today, what should be the motivation? Because the future indeed is here already, whether you like it or not. What should be their bigger outlook and motivation?
I think the bigger outlook is the responsibility that lies ahead, and the excitement of being part of transforming a continent that is big, that is in the middle of a historic transition, demographic transition, from below a billion people to now 1.3 billion people, and we hear that it's going to be 2 billion people very, very soon. But also of creating a new type of Africa. An Africa that understands its responsibilities, an Africa that understands its obligations to its own citizens, but also to the international community. The Africa that is peaceful, we need to silence the guns. All those things are motivating enough for the young person to put on an extra hour of studying every night so that they are better prepared to be able to tackle these problems.
And your message to the AU on Africa Union Day today will be what?
I will quote Nelson Mandela, "It seems impossible until it is done." Let's do it. Thank you.
Professor, thank you very much indeed for your time, Professor Marwala.
Thank you very much.
For that you could speak to us.
Thank you.
And that has been the Rector of the United Nations University, Professor Marwala. Thank you.